It's Madden NFL 24, where we'll see a brawl inside the AFC East. It's the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins, and it's all up next.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today, a fun matchup in the AFC East, as it'll be the New York Jets taking on the Miami Dolphins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. At CD, the Dolphins, they've got some high hopes for 2023. They feel like they've got the pieces to make a run. They need a little bit of health, but they think they can be right there in the AFC East.
And they'll want every game to be a track meet because speed is their calling card. If they're able to sprint out there ahead of people and make them chase, they'll be tough to reel in.
Well, meanwhile, for the Jets, even putting the quarterback situation aside, this is an exciting time for them right now. Yeah, they were just 7-10 last year, I get that, but they're building a roster that's potentially got some future stars involved.
They certainly are. Remember, going 7-10, they were 7-3 at one point last season, and they finished the year with the offensive and defensive rookies of the year. So you know that this roster is really on the rise.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by Zach Wilson, former second overall pick, now in his third season out of BYU.
And we all know the scouting report on him. He can attack the field at all levels with a very strong arm and make big-time plays off schedule. We also see a player with confidence and swagger. We see a guy who knows how to lead a team, who knows how to compete, and wants to be great every time he hits the field.
Here's Wilson to throw right away. And this intercepted on the first play of the game. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Well, that's tough. You come in here, you dial up that pass play on the first play from scrimmage and get it picked.
And coaches always talk about we prepare for every eventuality. You don't even mention this as a possibility when you dial up that play, right? Instead, they throw a pick, and now they're behind the 8 ball on the road to get things going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now their 31-year-old running back, Raheem Mostert. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll run for it with Achane. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 9 yards that time. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold him to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it's second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On second down, Mostert. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up first and goal.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Quentin Jefferson coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on first and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. Here's Tua. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Durham Smythe from 17 yards out. And the Dolphins use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Their first passing touchdown of the ball game, and they go to the big tight end in those sure hands, and he provides the score.
Certainly looked like they were focused on taking away other weapons, and he certainly made them regret that because he found the soft spot, ended up taking it to the end zone. Nice throw, too, to complete the play.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Xavier Gibson now from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. Now the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, let's go, big boy. You're still our leader.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he floats one there, incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Now a 2nd and 10. Oh, did the Jets miss this guy? Here's Breece Hall. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On 3rd down, Wilson. They're able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their second drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 30. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football. And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. As they've got it as we resume action. Now Tua. Throw caught by Achane. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. So the completion good for 6 yards. And now it's 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
This will be caught. It's Waddle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They knew they had the free play after the penalty. They get great yardage so they can decline that penalty.
And one of the things we've seen develop more and more in recent years are teams seeing that penalty occur and still taking the big shot downfield and hoping to gain the yardage as we just saw there. They practice it, they work on it, and this time they're successful.
They'll run right side with Mostert. Breaks a tackle. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Tua wants to throw it on 2nd down. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. First catch there for Hill, and he's got a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
All right, let's put the check mark on the defensive side of the ledger there. really nice tackle by the man in the middle. But why was he able to get that done? Because he has 4 down linemen in front of him, 2 tackles, 2 ends, and what they often try to do is create what we call a funnel, right to the man in the middle linebacker, who often leads his team in tackles.
This Jet defense so far standing tall. They need another stop now, 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Durham Smythe, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Dolphins go up by 2 touchdowns. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Wilson. He finds his man complete. That's Wilson. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball. And what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
On 2nd down, Wilson. He finds his man complete. That's Wilson. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 18. That one goes for 24 yards.
And this offense has been a little slow to get going, but some signs of life here in this 2nd quarter. They're moving it pretty good. And that helps the cause as well. Good yardage and another 1st down.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Open man here is Conklin. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 1st half. Here's a 2nd and 5. Now Wilson. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. It'll be a gain of 5. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. There's Wilson. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. They'll go for it. It's Hall. Fighting his way in for a Jets touchdown. Breece Hall, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Jets get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. So they only needed a couple of feet there on fourth down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? Fourth and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Berrios now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Tua. And that is incomplete. Wow, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot, force the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
This time they stay on the ground. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets will take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, back to you two in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports Halftime Report. It was a strong first half from the lefty, Tua Tagovailoa. He fired his guys into the lead with 2 first-half touchdown passes as they were looking like a well-oiled machine in the first half of play.
one-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Looking to pass. Tua. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. On first down, they go with Mostert again. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
Tua sets up to pass it. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Tua going to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works a defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Now Achane on 1st and 10.
Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. They go back to the ground. This time Mostert.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all.
And now we're going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up.
We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium.
On 3rd down, here comes Mostert.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, he's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the 2nd half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4.
Second down and a yard.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Zerline now for the PAT. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The Miami's offense set and ready to go. They will look to flush the memory of that pick 6 as we now have a brand new tie ball game here in the 4th quarter. Getting down to the good stuff. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air.
Open man downfield is Hill. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 39 yards there, a big one.
Talk about a momentum shifter right there. Tie game, fourth quarter. These are plays that win you games. And now defensively, the question becomes, how do you respond?
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That's swung out to Mostert. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Tua. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. A field goal try would be almost 50 yards from this spot. So what can they do to get closer now on 3rd down? Trying there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's a lesson learned from the previous drive. Last time he forced one, and it turned into a pick 6. Here, he knows better, and he just throws that one away.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. Sanders' kick is good. And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in the 4th. So he waited on the sideline for his first chance of the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Jets ready to get going again here on offense. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Throwing to start the drive. Wilson, that's complete right side to Lazard. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 30-yard line.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 3. Here's Wilson to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's good for a Jet 1st down, a gain of 13.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now Wilson on first down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here.
This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here we go. This is 4th down.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Dolphins get the football in great field position. So now it may look bleak, but this one not over. They do have all 3 timeouts.
Even at this point on the field, where it looks like, you're really backed up, hold them to a field goal. That's the mantra right now. You hold them to a field goal, you still got a chance to take care of business on the other end. But you're right, the 3 timeouts are going to be key. How well they use them to preserve clock as well as stopping them, that's the key to giving them a chance to win.
They got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Once again, it's Mostert.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Nine-yard line, 2nd and 6. A run with Mostert up the middle.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Third and 2. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And he is going to have a Miami first down. And the Dolphins are going to win the football game.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Down to an Eagles Tua, and that should just about do it.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, they were big favorites coming in, but they had to work for this one.
It certainly wasn't the walk in the park that you expected coming into this one. I have a suspicion that in their meetings next week, head coach going to talk to them a little bit about focus, don't you think?
Yeah, because down the stretch, there was some nail-biting going on. And you're right. I think not only the fans, but those folks inside that locker room,